what's the difference between the Chabad approach and the Chagas approach? It's the difference between education and inspiration. So the Chagas approach is excitement and using emotionalism to get closer to Hashem. I mean, the end objective, everyone agrees, is to get closer to Hashem. But the question is the path, how to get closer to Hashem. So one approach is an emotional approach. Inspiration, feeling. The other is the educational approach, the Chabad approach, which is you'll learn something, you'll think about it, and you won't be inspired right away. No, who says you'll be inspired right away? But if you'll sit with the thought long enough, there's a trickle-down effect, and Chabad will lead to Chagas, that through emotion, through intellectual discovery, you will reach emotional inspiration. But the emotional inspiration is not the initial state. By the way, I mentioned before, it's ironic that Chabad, which is this, not only a school of esoteric wisdom, but a very intellectual school of esoteric wisdom, became synonymous with Shabbos hospitality. So how do you explain that? You want to know how to explain that? I'll explain it to you very clearly. Because if you learn Tanya, and you understand what it says, and you really meditate on it, it will affect you to the point where you will live according to those ideas, and then you'll end up giving free cholent to people who are traveling through your town and need a free place for Shabbos. Not that the hospitality is the point. That's not the goal. That's the Even HaBeichen, that's the litmus test. That if you learned it properly and you absorbed it and it affected you intellectually and then emotionally, then it'll come out behaviorally and it'll manifest itself in various ways, including perhaps primarily as loving your fellow Jew, and even to the point of self-sacrifice, loving your fellow Jew. But all that humanitarian stuff that I think Chabad is very well known for, that is like the final manifestation, the most outward manifestation of a very deep school of mystical thought. So when we're studying Teres Chabad, when we're studying Tanya, we're studying the deep theological, philosophical, ideological ideas that if you absorb them, they would cause you perhaps to move out in the middle of nowhere and host people